All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're tackling a lie, a really comforting, but honestly, incredibly dangerous lie that pretty much all of us tell ourselves every single day. I'll do it tomorrow. I mean, it sounds so harmless, right? But as we unpack the insights from the growth paradox, we're going to figure out exactly why we do this. We'll explore the actual mechanics of discipline, how to genuinely beat procrastination, and what it truly means to embrace the daily grind.
Seriously, I want you to ask yourself right now, what is actually stopping you from starting? Because here's a harsh reality check: tomorrow is never, ever guaranteed. While you're waiting, someone else is out there taking the exact action you've been putting off, building the very life you're only dreaming about. That fear controlling your hesitation, most of the time, it's a complete illusion. Today is literally the only day we have, and this exact moment is the only one we actually own.
So, let's move into Act 1, the problem, specifically the illusion of tomorrow.
Now, what's wild about this is that procrastination isn't just some quirky, relatable habit. The source material actually frames it as a literal disease. It's a disease that slowly eats away at your potential by actively training your mind to accept mediocrity. Think about it. Every single time we say, I'll just start tomorrow, we're essentially teaching our brains that settling is fine, that living in a perpetual state of hesitation is okay. But tomorrow isn't a fresh start. It's actually the graveyard where your unattempted opportunities go to die.
The big takeaway here is that conditions will never be absolutely ideal. You know the feeling, waiting for more resources, a bit more confidence, or for the timing to just feel right? Well, if you're waiting for the stars to align, you're going to be waiting forever. There will always be obstacles, always. Success doesn't magically come to those who wait for a sign. It comes to the people who decide right now that their goals are simply worth more than their excuses.
Which brings us to Act 2, the agitation. We're looking at the cost of waiting and the myth of motivation.
86,400. Let that number sink in. Every single day, your life's bank account gets a deposit of exactly 86,400 seconds. And here is the unyielding truth about that. Once a single second passes, not even the richest billionaires on the planet can buy it back. You can lose all your money and earn it back tenfold, but time is infinitely more valuable. Every hour spent endlessly scrolling on your phone is basically a gold coin dropped into a bottomless pit. It really puts into perspective why we absolutely have to guard our time.
And that brings us to a massive distinction that so many people get completely backward: motivation versus discipline. Look, motivation is great, but it's fleeting. It is as unreliable as the wind. You just can't sit around waiting for a sudden spark of inspiration to get to work. Discipline, on the other hand, that is the unshakable bedrock. Discipline is what keeps you moving when you're completely exhausted. It's waking up early when your body is practically screaming for sleep. It's what makes taking action mandatory rather than just optional. Ultimately, it boils down to a choice. Which pain are you going to pick? Psychologists often note that people on their deathbeds rarely regret their failures. They regret the chances they never took. The pain of discipline? Yes, it's uncomfortable, it's messy, and sometimes it really hurts. But it's temporary, and it leads to massive growth. But the pain of regret, the agonizing pain of looking back 10 years from now and wishing you had started today, that pain lasts forever.
All right, Act 3, the paradigm shift. It's time to talk about embracing the grind.
Because here's the deal. Sacrifice is the literal price of admission to success. To achieve extraordinary things, you've got to be willing to give up the ordinary. You just can't have everything all at once. Sometimes that means skipping the party to study or grinding on a side hustle while everyone else is binge-watching TV. Guys like Kobe Bryant or Elon Musk didn't reach the absolute pinnacle of their fields by taking it easy. They sacrificed. They worked relentlessly while others were resting, proving that focused, undeniable hard work remains undefeated.
But let's be clear, grinding isn't just having one glorious, super productive Tuesday. One amazing workout isn't going to get you in shape, right? The real secret sauce is consistency. It's the boring, repetitive, incredibly difficult commitment to doing the right thing over and over again, especially when you don't see immediate results. That is exactly why so many people fail. They start strong, they get hyped, and then they completely fizzle out when the routine gets boring. You have to trust the process.
And here is the absolute best part. The greatest hidden reward of the grind isn't the money or the fame or the applause at the finish line. The true reward is the resilient, unbreakable person you become in the process. Every single challenge you overcome shapes your core character. It builds this genuine confidence that isn't just empty arrogance. It's a deep-seated, rock-solid belief that no matter what life throws your way, you've earned the strength to handle it.
Moving into our final act, Act 4, the solution. This is you versus you and taking action today.
It all comes down to a really stark contrast in mindset. Winners take full ownership. They don't sit around complaining about being busy. They make time for what actually matters and they execute. But the trap of making excuses, that just keeps us stuck in this endless cycle of justification. We say, oh, I'm too tired, or I don't have the time, living entirely in the dangerous illusion of someday. Actually, scratch that. Someday doesn't even exist. Every excuse is just another brick in the wall separating you from your goals.
So how do we actually fix this today? Well, action is the ultimate antidote to fear. Here's how you break the cycle right now and create some unstoppable momentum. First, define exactly what you want with crystal clarity. Then, take just one small step today, because forward progress is always better than perfection. Remove the digital noise that's holding you back and share your goals with someone to keep you accountable. You don't jump to the top of a mountain. You climb it one focused step at a time.
And please do not underestimate the power of these small actions. Waking up just 15 minutes earlier or reading a single chapter might seem like nothing in the moment, but they compound into massive change. Think of an airplane adjusting its course by a single degree. Over thousands of miles, that tiny little shift fundamentally changes its ultimate destination. Positive momentum is hands down your absolute best weapon.
I love this quote from Thomas Edison. I haven't failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. It perfectly flips the script on failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the exact path to it. It's the fire that burns away your weaknesses. Most people would have quit after 10 tries, let alone 10,000. But Edison embraced the process. When you hit a plateau, don't let it break you. Let it build you. Use every failure as fuel.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with one final, absolutely critical question. What are you going to do with your 86,400 seconds today? The clock is ticking right now, and the world isn't slowing down for anyone. Are you going to keep waiting for a perfect tomorrow that never comes? Or are you going to take complete control, embrace the grind, and start building your legacy today? The choice is entirely yours. Let's make it count.